Kia ora and hello. Welcome to another map discovery, and this time it's FrechDachs 4X map. So this is probably going to be just a PC only a map, as far as I know currently 4X maps cannot be played on consoles. That may be reviewed later on, I do not know, but at the moment this is only a PC map. Now it's quite a good one, so some details about it. If you Google Translate FrechDachs, you'll find that it means cheeky badger, apparently. Frech can also mean naughty, but if you type in FrechDachs as two separate words together, it comes up as cheeky badger. Interestingly, if you type in FrechDachs without a capital or as one word, it comes up as pancakes. However, I don't think that's the intended translation because there's a capital D in the middle. So it's a 4X map, so that but the size of this one, it's 188.04 megabytes in size. So it's actually really small. And I think we'll find out the reason for the size of that. So to give you a comparison with some of the more recent maps that have come out, Frankenmuth Farming, the American map, comes in at 316.1 megabytes. New Frontier is 314.31 megabytes, and they're standard size maps. In Calmsden Farm, that comes in at a hefty 703.64 megabytes, and that's a standard map. So that gives you an idea of the detail that's been incorporated into Calmsden Farm, and gives you an idea of what to expect for this 4X map. So let's dive into it and let's have a look at it. So this is where you spawn when you first go into the map. So this apparently is the shop, and it's where the NPC David is. And they have the map up here with all the locations of the different places. Now if we go to the PDA, we can see that we have a large amount of fields, and we have a lot of selling points and a few buying points. It's interesting to note there are no productions on this map. It can have its pluses and it can have its minuses, and would be an indication as to why it is so low in the megabyte size. Whether he was trying to get it on consoles, I'm not too sure. We would have to wait and see what Giants decides to do on that side of things. So prices of fields, that smallish one there, which is a 1.41 hectares, so still reasonably sized, is 84,000. And if we go up to some of the larger ones, field 13, which is 32.13 hectares, is $1,927,891. So that's going to take a bit of saving up to do, but that is a huge field. And you got to remember, you're used to seeing a standard map, and a standard map would come to there basically. So that's a quarter of this map. So it gives you a false idea. You're looking at the fields and going, they're small fields, but they aren't. They are incredibly big fields. Like this one here, that's a 1.73 hectare, so that's 103,000. So, you know, they're fairly sizable. Now, there are quite a bit of forestry. If you look at buying these fields, you get the forestry near the edge of the map. You've also got forestry up and in there, 1.4 million. Now, there is a lot of forestry in this map, so if you are enjoying the forestry side of things, you'll have a lot of areas that you can look at doing the forestry in. So there's no real starting home farm as such, but if you do select a starting farm, you do get these areas down here. So we'll just zoom in. 203, 38, which is 4.59 hectares, so fairly sizable. 5.51 hectares, another sizable field. And one down there, which is 5.5 hectares. So they are fairly sizable fields. Now, being a 4X map, you do have a lot of distance to cover to get to the different locations. So what I think we'll do is we will go into the shop. We will purchase us some wheels. I think the Skoda's probably a good pick for this one. And custom. And we'll go for a metallic. Right. Okay. Okay, so we'll have a start on the map tour. I have had a quick look around, but I haven't had an in-depth look at this area yet. So I'm not sure where the shop originally came from, but I know it was used in No Man's Land. And you'll probably notice that it is relatively sparse in here. There's not a lot of detail. Not a lot of bric-a-brac, or detritus as some people call it. Yeah, it's just basically a big empty building. So when you come down here, this is obviously where your items that you purchase are available. So let's hop in here. Now I'll probably stay third person just so that you can sort of get an idea of, you know, what the map looks like as we drive around. So we'll start it up. And we've already taken a wrong turn. Here we go. So we'll head out to the entranceway, entrance/exit. So this is a map based in Germany, so once again a lot of the signs are in German. A lot of the shop names are in German, and so it can take a little bit to navigate yourself around. Now let's just check. Yes, we want to turn here. Oh, the swoopy indicator, eh? Only the later model Scooters have that. The earlier ones didn't have the swoopy indicator. So there's a lot of trees. Yeah, there's a lot of detail in the shrubbery and the bushes. The fields are all there. There are some vehicles. I don't recall seeing any pedestrians as such. Oh yes, we want to head straight through, and one thing I do like to check up on is the edge of the map. I like to get an idea of what the edge of the map looks like. So here we have, I think what you could say would be either a farm or, yeah, a production area. You know, you're free to basically add in your own production. Hi Planet Daydream, hi Jack Sarge, farming, how are you all? So it's a big area. You know, you could landscape this. It would need a little bit of landscaping, but you could landscape this, and yeah, you can put in different things. Now there is no BGA built into this map, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You can always add a BGA if you want to, but yeah, you would need to do that yourself. Yeah, some people don't necessarily want to have a BGA, and other people just use it all the time. So let's just hop out. I'm pretty sure we're near the edge of the map. So you can see the sort of the edge of the map is outlined by the line of trees there. So they've used, you know, the old tree line to hide the edge of the map, which, yeah, you look at it and the map just sort of drops off, disappears. Yeah, especially knowing what Giants had done with the likes of Riverbend and Hutem Pantai, especially Riverbend, where the edge of the map, the actual township carried on. There were houses in the outer bounds area. It just seemed to just carry on. There was no sudden disappearance of roads or anything like that. They just continued on. You were just unable to use them, and I feel like that's a standard that's been set now for most map makers. So I don't like to be critical. I have never made a map, so I don't really think it's my place to say whether something is good or bad when it comes to the edge of the map. But I know what my feelings are, that, you know, the maps, I feel like the maps should look like they're continuing on. So let's head down here. We have a lot of ground to cover. It's, you know, it's a big map, and I think you'll get an idea of the expanse of it. You know, we've got all that forestry there. There are a lot of forestry trees there that we can use. So yeah, it is a very big map. 4X maps are big maps, and you do end up doing a lot of traveling. Yeah, in a lot of ways it can be you know, worthwhile maybe having a truck and low loader to load your equipment on to get your equipment across the map, because it just takes so long in a tractor. So yeah, so this is basically just a supermarket. Grandpa Walter's there. So it's, yeah, it's a sell point. It's your standard supermarket type of building. It's been used a few times before. Yeah, there's a little bit of items around it, but it does feel a bit empty and bare. And yeah, I think we've got to remember the megabyte size of the map, and obviously there are trade-offs. You know, when you look at Calmsden Farm, you know, it's a very busy map. There's a lot of stuff in it, and you know, that shows in the size of the map. It's a huge map in comparison to this one, especially considering that it is a standard map. So, you know, he's made a lot of compromises to keep the map size down. Like I said, I'm not sure if he was trying to make it available for console, and I do hope that it could come to console, because the console players have been wanting a 4X map for a long time. They've always just been able to run standard maps, and you know, with the PS5 now and the Xbox Series S and X, hopefully they can run 4X maps now. So I'm hoping Giants is testing it, and just, you know, it would be good if consoles could get a 4X map, and you know, the trade-offs made in this map can facilitate that. That's my opinion on it. You know, you do feel like you're covering some distance, and you definitely are. It's the 4X maps on the PDA always look way smaller than they actually are when you're driving along them. So there's no real township here. There's basically sell points dotted around, a lot of them conveniently located at each corner of the map. So if you're going to be selling items, you're going to have to do a lot of travelling, and I think that sort of helps give the feel that you're on a big map. I say a lot of forestry, a lot of cuttable trees. So here we have another sell point, basically another sort of supermarket. You know, it's very sparse inside. There's no real details, like blackboard there. And you know, let's be honest, having or not having a lot of items laying around the place does not really affect your gameplay. Yeah, you can play just as well with a lot of items as you can with no items around. It's just a visual thing, and yeah, there's a lot of some really good points on this. So if we continue out here, you can sort of see how the road just stops. You know, the trees are growing across the road. The road doesn't continue on into the distance. And like I say, yeah, River Bend did a fantastic job. You got to the end of the map and you could see the road carry on into the distance. So yeah, the standard's sort of been set there, and yeah, I think it's fair that we do compare, you know, what Giants have done with their maps, and you know, they've really worked hard. They've put a lot of stuff in their maps, and yeah, it's you do notice it when you come onto sort of a map like this one where it's a bit sparser, and yeah, it's just so yeah, there's a lot of fields. It's a good map to just get stuck in, do farming. You know, you could be a good multiplayer map, maybe a competitive multiplayer where you both end up with your own farm area that you're going to build, and that, you know, it's a relatively flat map, so you don't have to worry too much about hills and that sort of thing. So let's head up to the gas station and we'll have a quick look at that. A lot of signs around the place. You know, the roads sort of connect nicely and let you do. So I think here is another fairly large build area. You know, once again, you know, you're free to put in whatever productions you want to put in there. And you know, I think productions have become a big part of the gameplay. I know there are people that just are there to farm and they just farm and sell their product, but I know a lot of people actually enjoy the production chains as well and will use them. So in a lot of ways this map is like sort of a no man's land with fields. You know, you can, now did I go the wrong way? Oh, I did too. Apologies. Back where we started it. Sorry, mate. Well, yeah, that's a big area there. Yeah, you could make into a farm. You could put your productions in. You know, if you want a BGA, you can put your BGA in. Maybe a sell anything sell point. You know, you could put in a whole industrial area there if you really wanted to. So here we have the gas station, and we'll just have a quick run around here. You know, once again, nothing inside the gas station, and you know, that definitely would help reduce the size of the map. The less items that are floating around, the better. Yeah, but he has spent a bit of time in the decorations. You know, the electric charger, the flower boxes. Yeah, so there is a little bit of there is an effort to pretty things up. You know, it's not a complete bare and barren map. There's just other places where things just look a bit bare and barren. So where are we going to go now? Okay, so I think we want to go down here. and we'll check out the main farm. So I was walking around this map and I was actually being passed by the Skoda Enyaq, which is the electric version, and it was making an electric motor sound. It didn't have the internal combustion engine sound, so I thought that was a nice touch. I hadn't noticed that before, so I'm not sure if that's something that the map maker has incorporated into his map, or whether that is something that Giants has incorporated. And I don't recall seeing the Enyaq driving around in Hutim Pantai or Riverbend Springs, so I'm not too sure. I could have missed it. But I definitely noticed it on this map. I know the Enyaq is in the other maps as a stationary vehicle, as a prop, but not one that I've seen driving around that I can recall. Oh, missed the turn. So this is the main farm area. This is the land you get if you select that you want to farm. So it's basically just a big courtyard. There is a silo bins and some basic sheds with, you know, starting equipment. That would get you going. No house, but you know, let's face it, there's been a lot of houses released, and you know, some would fit in quite nicely with this map. Some even have interiors. So you know, like I say, it's a build your own map. You build it how you'd like it, with fields already there. You don't have to go around and plow up a whole lot of ground. Hi Necros, how are you? So this is one of sorry, no, this is not one of the fields you have, but up here is definitely one of the fields that you can start with if you choose to do that. Now of course you can just sell everything and you can start off with $1 million. So you know, starting off is a lot easier than it used to be. It's funny how far $1 million doesn't go nowadays, especially with the, you know, if you're buying a few fields and all that, it would soon disappear at the sizes of the fields around. But yeah, you can see it's a big area here. Yeah, you could put a few cow barns and sheep barns, maybe some productions if you wanted to. I think you definitely classify this as a build your own map. It's a map that you just you want to go into it with that viewpoint that things aren't done for you. You've got to do it yourself, and that isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, quite often I've been on a map and I'm going, I really want to remove that building, and you can't. Or if you can remove the building, the whole lot of decorations around the building still stays there. So yeah, it's not a bad thing. So let's have a look here. I think I'm gonna cut across the grass here, head back this way. Try not to run into a tree. Sorry officer, the tree just in front of me. So this is a place where, yeah, I think you can purchase a lot of items, and I think you can also sell a few items. So yeah, we come in here. Yep, so this is where, yeah, you can buy your planks, wood beams, yeah, all the items you need. Now, I don't believe there are any collectibles. Let's have a look here. Statistics. Apparently there are collectibles. I haven't seen any. So that would be interesting to know if there really are. I do have a little hack that I can use to show them, but I won't because I don't want to spoil it for you to try and find them. So yeah, that's a fairly big area there. So let's see. I probably feel like I'm rushing this, but there is a lot to cover in this map because it is so large. So you're probably wondering about that area there, so we can have a quick turnaround and just go and have a look at that there. So you can imagine if we were trying to travel this with the tractor, you know, at 40, 50 kilometers, it's going to take a while. Yeah, this is going basically twice as fast, and it's still taking us a while to get around the map. Like I say, it's a fairly flat map, but I think we might be naughty and we'll cut across the field here. So that big circular area, you know, that could be an interesting place to, you know, cut down the trees and maybe build a farm here. You know, it's a bit different because, you know, you could start off here, put a tent in or something like that. You know, we now have the hobo pack that has a tent that we could put in. You know, we could cut the trees down. Now the only thing is it is part of field 52, which is 1.4 million dollars. So yeah, it's not a separate item that you could just purchase and set up in. So yeah, it's a big initial start to get into it. So from a start from scratch, possibly not, because of the initial cost of the field. But yeah, I'm sure you can come up with a storyline. You know, hey, maybe you've inherited your grandparents' farm and the old farmhouse burnt down a long time ago, and you know, you've just got the land and trees where the farmhouse used to be. Yeah, that could be a thing. So let's have a look here. Yeah, we want to go. So I hope you're getting the feel that this is a big map. It definitely does have a big feel about it. Now, I think definitely be an awesome multiplayer map for people to really get into and you know, do their thing. Maybe a competitive multiplayer where, you know, you can have two farms competing to see who can make the most money. So yeah, the map definitely has possibilities. But if you're looking at a map that, you know, has a lot of items, a lot of decoration in it, you know, where you're working with in-place buildings and productions and that sort of thing, and this map probably isn't really what you're looking for. But yeah, if you're wanting a map that has a lot of land and you know, it is a 4X after all, you know, you can definitely you know, sink your teeth into it and do some stuff with it. You know, like I say, the edges of the map to me could do with a little bit of work, just to, you know, roads being blocked by trees, just, yeah, it just doesn't seem right with knowing what they've done with Riverbend and how the roads carry on. But, you know, that's probably once again a compromise. If you're extending the map beyond the borders and putting items in the map, that's extra megabytes, isn't it? And, you know, size wise, you know, it's a big map size wise, but megabyte wise it's very, very small. So it's a Bale sale point here. And we have one of the other NPCs there. So it's a fairly big area. There are vehicles, you know, but like I said, I haven't seen many pedestrians as such. So I think what we'll do now is we'll whiz along the bottom of the map. Yeah, the road network is actually well designed, I feel. You know, everything's sort of linked. Yeah, and there's numerous different routes to go to different places, so yeah, I think from that point of view, it's a well-designed map. Hit the wrong button. My apologies. So there's been a few maps dropped on Mod Hub. Calmsden Farm, I'm definitely keen to do a map tour on, but I want to wait till after the update. Oxygen David is fixing a few things. Yeah, he's got a few floating things in his map. And that's one thing I'll say about this, is I have not seen anything like that. You know, everything seems to be on the ground. You know, the trees are all there. Never seen a pink truck before though, but yeah, okay. Yeah, so from that point of view, the map maker has been very, very careful about ensuring that there isn't, you know, things like that, floating trees and that sort of thing. And you know, when you think about the number of trees that would have to be in a map like this, that's quite an achievement in itself. So the attention to detail there, I think, is, you know, really second to none. Yeah, the ground area for the forestries looks really good. Here we have another supermarket. Once again, we hop out. You know, it's sparse in there, but I think basically you could say anything that's not really important for gameplay or for visuals when you're traveling along the road is something that hasn't been included in the map. And yeah, I think that is just to keep the megabytes down. And from that point of view, the amount of detail that is in this map, and the size of the map, and comparing it to New Frontier, you know, let's remember New Frontier is 314 megabytes, and this is 188. So, you know, and that's, you know, if you think about 4 New Frontiers, yeah, you combine 300, yeah, that's over a gig of data in map size. So he's really achieved a lot to get the map down to this size. You know, full credit to him for that. I keep saying it's him. I don't know if it is, but I haven't heard otherwise. So if the map maker is a girl, I do apologise. I am just assuming that it is a guy. But yeah, for FrechDachs Map, it basically does what it says on the tin. You know, it provides big, long drives from place to place. You know, roads are well placed. They're smooth. Let's have a look here. Yep, we want to go straight ahead, and then we'll head up into that area there. So is this a map that I could play on? Yeah, I think I could, as long as I stayed away from the edges of the map. But yeah, you look at the forestry there. That looks like forestry land. You know, not a lot of grass growing. The trees are, you know, keeping the light out, and yeah, you got a few bit of scrub and bushes and all that, but nothing else. You know, it looks like a forest. Pine needles dropping, and you know, just doing that. So here's another supermarket sell point by the looks of it. So there's a few of these around. I'm assuming that there must be a few towns off on the edges of the map, but you know, you can't really tell that. So yeah, he's used a few items from previous maps on FS22. Like I say, I have never made a map. I know that it would take a lot of time, and that's probably why I've never made a map, is the amount of time that I'd have to dedicate to it. I enjoy playing the game too much, and I'm enjoying doing the live streams. You know, I enjoy that side of things. You know, interacting with people and you know, sharing the stories as I go along. You know, whenever I play, I usually have a story in my head that I'm telling to myself, and it's fun to actually be able to tell that story and share that story with other people. And yeah, I'm gonna have to put my thinking cap on here and think, what sort of story would I tell with this map? Yeah, really, there's a lot of possibilities, because you're not being forced in any one particular direction, you know. If you want to build a BGA somewhere, you can. If you want to build a tailor shop somewhere, you can. Yeah, if you want to plant cotton and make that into fabric, you can. You know, I'm sure we'll have a look here and just see what productions are available. I would be surprised if... Here we go. So if we go into there, so we've got a BGA, we've got a bakery. Yeah, that would fit with the map quite nicely. Carpentry, that's a fairly generic one that would fit. Cement factory, once again. Cereal, dairy, grapes. Yeah, you could have a vineyard here. Oil mill, paper factory. You know, with the amount of forestry, then obviously, you know, you could make a lot of paper. There is a sawmill built into the map, but it's not a production, so it's only a sell point. So you'd be probably looking at building another sawmill for production side of things. Spinnery, tailor shop. So you've got all your standard ones. A debris crusher, Cooper, rope maker, so you can make ropes. Soup factory, spinnery, and then you got your smaller items there. Had some factory selling points. You know, you could set up a piano manufacturer. Then you got your small farmers kiosk, big farmers kiosk, farmers market. So you could set up a farmers market here. And with the addable triggers, you've got that option as well. Greenhouses are all standard greenhouses and whatever ones. Yeah, you could have some very large rice fields on this map. So you've got all your standard things. So and we'll just carry on down here. And we've got another placeable here. So I think this is the sawmill. So I'd say it's not a production point, it's just a sell point. So I think that's the sawmill that was in Hot Belron, I believe. We've got Noah standing there. So this was a sawmill that was on the French map, FS22, and yeah, he's incorporated it into here. So yeah, it looks like a sawmill. There's what you would expect, bits of wood to be laying around and stacked up. So yeah, it's not necessarily a completely barren map. Yeah, there has been some attention to detail put in there. You know, when you drive in there with your logs, you're seeing what you would expect to see. You know, if you're driving into one of those selling points, you're not running up to the door to have a look in. Yeah, you're just driving past, so you wouldn't really notice whether there's anything in there or not. So yeah, I think basically he's trimmed out all the items that he hasn't needed. So I think we haven't been down to this area here. Agricultural trading. Feel like I've missed the animal dealer, but not sure where that is. Yeah, that's the sawmill. Yeah, well, let's head back to that other one. So I think, yeah, you're getting an idea of how big this map is. Like I say, if you're wanting to, you know, take a tractor across the map, a low loader is definitely worth considering. And let's face it, on a standard map, you know, quite often a low loader is just something that's not worth the effort, is it? Yeah, you just, it's just quicker to drive the tractor from A to B, and even at 40 kilometers an hour, it's still, by the time you've hooked up the truck and trailer and loaded it onto the trailer and all that sort of thing, yeah, it's not worth it. But on a map like this, you know, if you're traveling from one end of the map to the other at 40 kilometers an hour, it's definitely going to be worth having a low loader and a truck and loading your equipment onto that. You know, technically I'm driving at a speed that is illegal in my country. Anything over 100k on the open road, except for some rare exceptions on a motorway, is absolutely illegal. So did we go into here? Yeah, well, I think we did. I think I've missed the bits up there. My apologies. So it's a bit hidden, this one. And that's the other thing too, you know, hey, it's, if I've missed it and I've got to try and find it, that's not a bad thing, you know, it's a little bit of detail. So it must be somewhere here. Looks like there's a sign there. Missed the sign. So the buildings are nice. I think this is another buy point by the looks of it. Yep, so you can buy all your items here, so you know, you can pick your one that's closest and just go there. Let's have a look if I can find the animal dealer. Number 5 on the map. Where did I miss that? Okay, looks like it's there. Oh, there's a shop there. So we actually just drove past the animal dealer, so we'll head back. It'll be interesting to see if there's any animals in the actual animal dealer, because that seems to be a thing now, is to have animals floating around. There was animals in Riverbend Springs, animals in Hutan Pantai, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see if there's animals in the animal dealership here. Whoops, misjudged that one. I'll have a look at the pink van. Where's there? So that's the animal dealership there, but I just want to have a look at the van here. It's an ice cream van. Let's hop out and have a look at it. Yeah, mate, I stopped you for an ice cream. Whoa, rude. Okay, okay. Didn't appreciate being stopped like that. Never mind. Yeah, look at that ice cream van. That is neat. I have not seen that before. So you know, maybe you know, he has got a few little Easter eggs like that in the map that isn't available in other places. Don't recall seeing that in Riverbend or Hutan Pantai. So yeah, if that is for the map, built for the map, then you know, really well done to him for that. So this looks like the animal dealer. Looks like the building from Erlengrat, I think, the Alpine map. And I think there we've got Katie there. So it doesn't look like there's any animals or animal pens. But like I say, that's possibly the trade-off again, to keep the map size at an incredibly small size for a 4X map. Yeah, I think there's been a lot of trade-offs done, and okay, looks like we've got a water point there. I think that's a slurry buy point and a manure buy point, or yeah, be buy points, sell points. So there's definitely it's definitely got a lot of possibilities. People, I think, will enjoy playing on the map, enjoy the amount of fields, the distance that needs to be covered. building their own production areas, their own industrial estates is a possibility. So there are things that to me could be better with the map. Edges of the map since FS22 have actually been a major part for me. But to have a map this size at this megabyte size that it is quite amazing. The decoration, the bushes, the shrubberies, the trees, they look organic. They don't look like they've just been copy and pasted and they're all the same tree or anything like that. They're different trees. He's put a lot of effort into ensuring that the trees are different, and it does look really organic. So he's done really well in a lot of places on this map, and I think he's created a map that you as a game player can build how you want to. So I think I'd give it 5 stars. Just because of the effort. I think most map makers deserve 5 stars for their maps. The amount of time that it takes to produce a map. I think I heard someone say 500 hours for a standard map. If you multiply that by 4, that's a lot of hours to put together. You think about it, every one of these trees has to be put down by hand. All these fields had to be marked out and set up as fields. So he's spent a lot of time on this map. I know I can be hard on map makers when it comes to the edges of the map and that sort of thing. But the edges of the map don't stop you from growing the crops in the fields. Edges of the map are just a nice thing to look at. There's a map that you can buy fields and grow fields, build the farm how you want to with the sheds you want to, put cattle and livestock pens where you want to. The opportunities are endless, and when you're playing this map, you're making it your map. You're not playing with someone else's ideas. You know that if someone else has got this map on a save game somewhere, their map is going to look completely different to your map. This will be your map that you're playing with, that you're building yourself. So I think from that point of view, it's amazing. I really hope something like this could come to console. I think it would be amazing if the console players could play on a map this size. Dare I say it, to find out how boring it is to drive a tractor all that distance. But it is a good 4X map, I think. It does what it says on the tin. You've got fields, you've got forestry. It's not promising productions. You build it how you want it. I think it's an awesome map. And I'm going to have to try and think of a way to do a story in here. I'm not sure how I can do that. It's a challenge, you know, and I think that in some cases could be something that could affect its popularity. Is the challenge of starting on a map like this is how do you get started? You know, nothing's laid out for you. There's no farm as such. You know, you've got machinery and you've got buildings, but you don't have a farm. So how do you start off? And yeah, that is challenging. It is a challenging map when you look at it from that point of view. So I'm going to have to think about how I'm going to be playing on this map. Yeah, there are a lot of really good maps on, so unfortunately I may have to put this one on a back burner. I think next one I'll be looking at, we'll have a discovery of the Frankenmouth map, the American one that's just come out. Like I say, Calmsden Farm is definitely one I'll be doing a discovery on, but I'm going to wait until Oxygen David has done his update on that one, because I'd like to see it in a fully finished way, you know, and Oxygen David is good like that. He does finish his maps. I think he was under a lot of pressure to get it out. A lot of people were wanting Calmsden Farm. And so I think he put it out there to meet the demand, the expectations of the people, and you know, they've found things that are going wrong with it, and he's been straight on to fixing it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having a look at that map as well. You know, I have actually loaded it and played around with it, so you know, I've seen some of the glitches that are happening. So I think it would be nice to do a tour and not have those glitches sort of showing up and changing it. So yeah, I think this is a good map. Like the other map discovery I did with Oberschwaben is that's a beta one. I was looking at doing a let's play on that, but when I was doing a little bit of testing, I did find that some of the fields weren't quite right, weren't harvesting correctly. So I might wait for a couple of updates before I do a let's play on that one. And you know, Hutan Pantai, I'd like to carry on with that gameplay for a little bit longer. Just to, you know, harvest the oat field. That's what I'd like to do. I've accomplished everything else. I just want to use the MacDon pack. You know, and just use that again. So I might continue on with that one just a little bit longer. But I'm definitely going to be moving on to another map soon with my live streams. And you know, there's nothing to say that I can't run two different maps at the same time on my live streams, and you know, take turns on it. But overall, getting back to this map, I do think this is a really good map. It does what it says on the tin. You've got a big map. You've got it's well decorated in the way of the trees and the bushes, and the fields are well formed. I think the roading system is well thought out. He's left a lot out of the map to decrease the size of the map. And like I say, I think he's kept the important things in where they're needed. So yeah, I would recommend this map. Like I say, you may have trouble building a storyline, but then you may not. You might just go in there and go, yep, house here, there's my equipment, I'm harvesting this field and just going for it, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it's a map, like I say, when you're when you do something on this map, it is your map, and no one else is going to have a map that looks exactly like yours, you know. So I do like this map. I hope you've enjoyed this map discovery. Thank you all for tuning in. I do appreciate the views and you know, the highs on chat. That was fantastic. If you've liked this map discovery, please hit the like button. Feel free to share it with other people that may want to know more about this map. And if you haven't already, I'd appreciate the subscription. It doesn't cost anything, and it really, you know, helps me along to see that there are people out there that are interested in my content to want to see some more of it. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and for those that are watching this afterwards, I hope you've enjoyed it. Hit that like button and subscribe, and until the next stream, you all have a good day, a good evening, or a good morning wherever you are in the world and at whatever time you're watching this. And until next time, bye.